The main topic of conversation at this year's Ambrosetti Forum has been Mario Draghi's decision to cut interest rates and buy asset-backed securities as the bank attempts to jolt the Eurozone economy back into life. But Draghi has said that the ECB cannot do it all by itself. Governments too must boost their economies by increasing investment or cutting taxes and pursuing structural reforms as well. These three policies, monetary easing, fiscal stimulus and structural reform, have been dubbed by some commentators as Draghinomics because of their similarity to the three policy arrows of Abenomics in Japan.
The mix of policies that Draghi has suggested in Jackson Hole is similar to the one followed by Abenomics in Japan. Fiscal stimulus in the short run, medium-term fiscal consolidation, monetary, quantitative and credit easing, and structural reform. Effectively, what Draghi suggested is Draghinomics, a version of Abenomics. Structural side, supply side with the structural reform, but also recognizing the role of aggregate demand by using the room for reducing the fiscal drag and short-term stimulus on the fiscal side while maintaining medium-term fiscal consolidation and opening the door to monetary easing in the form of quantitative and credit easing. Credit easing has started formally and quantitative easing effectively started by increasing the balance sheet.
Jyrki Katainen, Finland's former Prime Minister, is taking up a top economics job in the incoming European Commission. I asked him how likely it was that Europe's leaders could adopt this policy mix.
I very much agree with Mario Draghi, what he said, that there is a huge need of doing structural reforms in order to improve competitiveness in Europe. It means various reforms depending on the country's need. For instance, labor reform, maybe pension reform in some country, and also liberalizing some professions and things like that. And what he said also that the public expenditure should be used more the way it encourages investments.
The ECB's decision to buy private sector securities has led some former insiders to suggest that policymakers may be even more ambitious in future.
For Europe as a whole, these ideas of having some kind of big investment program that would be financed by traditional means, by private-public partnership, and if necessary by project bonds, doesn't seem to me aberrant in the present situation. Hundreds of billions have been mentioned. We will see what happens.
The future of the Eurozone will be determined by the battle between economic reform and populist anger. Alexis Tsipras, the leader of Greece's far-left opposition Syriza party, who attended the Ambrosetti Forum this year, warned that the social pressures were becoming acute. Greece has seen a 25% collapse in GDP, and unemployment is 28%. Mario Draghi is buying more time for economic reform, but politicians must now play their part or face an increasing populist backlash. This is John Thornhill for the Financial Times at the Ambrosetti Forum.